Okay, so I wanted to talk to you about my recovery, well, my labor and then the recovery. And Andrew's trying to get the computer and also the camera, so I may have to be juggling that. So my labor was awful. Let's see. Okay, I'm gotta try to make this quick. So, Andrew, hold on. Okay, so my water broke. I was almost 2 weeks past my due date, and my water broke at, I think it was like 2 or 4, I can't remember now, but it was like, I'll just say 4 in the morning. And I didn't tell David until 9 o'clock in the morning. I was on Facebook telling my friend in Japan, I was like, guess what? My water broke. She's like, what are you doing here? On Facebook, get off. I'm like, well, it's not a big, I was like, it's not a huge issue yet. I'll just let David sleep some more because I know he won't get much later. So I just let him sleep, and when I told him at 9 o'clock, he had jumped up so fast, and in 10 seconds had everything ready and was at the door. And I was like, hold on, don't worry about it. So we had a doula, and she was my husband's friend, and she came over about 10 in the morning, and at 12, we just went around walking, and at 12, Andrew, you're hitting the, watch your head, okay? So at 12, I took a nap, and we were still at home, and then at 2, the baby, Andrew stopped, he wasn't moving as much, and so I said, I think we really should go to the hospital now. And at this point, it had been 10 hours since my water had broken. So went to the hospital, and my labor pretty much started stopping at 10 that night. So they gave me Pitocin to get it going again. And they took me off after an hour because my body started picking it up again. And it was super, super intense. And hold on, Andrew, off the computer. And thank you. You're still, Okay. Okay, so then, at 4 o'clock, so 24 hours later, I decided that I needed to get an epidural. I mean, it was so intense, and I was so exhausted at this point. And so I just said, please give me an epidural. Hold on. That's Mommy's cup. We can't play with that. Okay, so I finally got an epidural, and instantly, I felt instant relief, and I went to sleep for 2 hours, and I didn't hear anything. Because I was asleep, but I didn't feel anything, and my husband, he's like, I was sitting there going, oh, she didn't do anything, so epidural, yeah, recommend it highly, well, at least for my case. And then finally my doctor came in. I caught 102 fever and an infection because my water had been broken so long and I still hadn't delivered. And Andrew's heart rate started going down, and my cervix started swelling, and I just stopped. My labor pretty much was stopping. I mean, I was still having contractions, but my body was just shutting down and not deciding to want to deliver anymore. And so I ended up stopping at 7 centimeters dilating. So I never got to 10, and so my doctor came in at 9, so this is like 29 hours later, and she says, you know, I know you really didn't want this, but we need to do a C-section. And at that point, I was like, hallelujah, just get this baby out. You know, I'm so tired, and I just want our baby, you know. So we ended up delivering at 10:04 a.m. on the 26th to a beautiful, healthy boy. Yeah, he's smiling at me. So we ended up having our boy at 10:04, and we, everything was good. He also, Andrew was sunny side up, so his head was facing up, and he was stuck. And his head was huge and just wasn't able to fit through me. So not only did I stop dilating, but he was stuck, and his head was, he was positioned wrong. So he wasn't coming out no matter what. So, that's my delivery. I didn't feel like any regret about having a C-section. It's funny because now that I'm going to have a second child, now I'm starting to feel like, because of my C-section, I'm having to make like some really tough decisions, and why did I have to have that C-section? And that's how I'm feeling now. But you know, I'm so glad that they were able to deliver him, and we were both fine after that. And my fever went away. He ended up going to the NICU because of my infection, and they wanted to make sure he was fine. So his blood levels were kind of off, so they kept him for 10 days in the NICU. And because of that, I was moving way too much, going up there like at least 3 times a day to see him, and spending at least an hour each time. And I mean, I was there almost all day in the NICU, but I was just moving way too much and doing so much. And I ended up, after the 5th day after I got discharged, after the 6th day, so almost a week later after they discharged me, my incision opened up and I caught an infection, and it smells really bad, by the way. And so for 6 weeks I ended up having to have a nurse come twice a day to our house and stuff it with gauze. I totally was forgetting the word. But it's like a string, and she pushed it in every single day, twice a day. And I got pretty used to it, but sometimes it was kind of painful. So this time, if I do have a C-section, I'm definitely gonna be taking it way easier. And woo, falling over. And so come here. You're okay. You're okay. So anyway, that was my labor and delivery and my recovery.